Good morning, everyone. Our panel discussion today is titled about Are Young People Unfairly Burdened with Responsibility for Climate Action? And this topic is closely connected to SDG 13 and focus on taking action to address climate change. And we have teammates Zheng Songwen,
Hi.
Jiao Rui,
Hello.
Zhang Liyan,
Hello.
and Peng Jingwen.
I'm here.
Okay, so in recent years, young people are often encouraged to take responsibility for climate action, and this includes changing their lifestyle, raising awareness, and taking part in some environmental movements. And however, this also raises an important question. Are young people being empowered as agents of change, or are they being asked to take too much responsibility without enough power or support? So today, our discussion will explore these questions from three different perspectives. We will look at youth climate responsibility from three main angles. First, the issue of responsibility without political power. Second, the pressure on young people to change their lifestyle while large emissions continue at the system level. And last, the psychology impact of climate responsibility, including stress and eco-anxiety. By looking at these three perspectives together, we can better understand whether the responsibility placed on young people is fair. So we will start by inviting our first panelist to share their perspective on young responsibility and political power.
Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to address this question today. Young people are tasked with having environmentally responsibility, yet denied the power and right needed to take meaningful action.
Sorry, actually, I have a question here.
Alright.
When you see young people are given responsibilities but denying power, could you clarify what kind of power they are actually lacking?
This is not only awful, but also undermines long-term cinema and environmentally affect. Socials cannot expect young people to carry the burden of environmentally protection while shutting them out of discussion-making process. In modern social, young people are holding as the hope from our planet's future.
So that sounds very positive on the surface, but is this recognition actually matched with real participation in decision making?
It's an interesting question. We often stress their duty to replay international environmental debates, but replay beauty in mentionist that lets them try to participate in policy making. According to the uniform data, 19% country but teenager under 18 of voting. This means they cannot elect responsibility to shop environmentally struggles, cutting them off from a key political channel to influence green politics. A 2024 PMC report titled Young Participation in Global Environmentally Governance Lab based a skit dilemma. 38% of young people environmentally advocates said they lack effective way to energies in structures dilemma with government, business or international organization on environmental issue is clothing contradiction. Young people are expected to drive cinema action, but have not institution views or decision making power. It's like asking someone to drive a eco-friendly train with not strengthening well. Only by balancing rights and responsibility can these trends keep moving forward to good. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for sharing. And next, I'd like to invite our second panelist to talk about lifestyle change and climate responsibility.
Good morning, everyone. Today, I want to talk about how young people are asked to change their lifestyle for climate action. Many young people are told to buy less, travel in greener ways, and live in a more environmentally friendly way. These actions are good, but they also give young people a lot of pressure. At the same time, government and big companies still create most of the world's emission. So it can feel unfair when young people are told to do the most. There is a research that supports this idea.
Sorry, I have a question here. If young people care so much about climate change, why do many of them feel their actions are not effective?
In 2023, Beltman, Green, and Dale studied 425 young people. They found that many young people care a lot about climate change. They also know a lot about it. But many of them do not believe that their own actions will make a big difference. So there is a gap. Young people want to help, but they do not feel powerful enough to change the problem by themselves.
So, who should take the main responsibility for climate action?
I think because of this, I believe that lifestyle change alone is not enough. It cannot replace strong government actions or company responsibility. Climate action should be shared fairly. The young people and the organizations who create the most emission should also do the most to fix the problem. So my main point is simple. Young people should not carry climate responsibility alone. Real change needs system-level action for government and companies. Young people can help, but they should not be the only ones expected to change. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for speech. And finally, our third panelist will focus on the psychology impact of climate responsibility on young people.
Okay, I want to talk about an issue that often goes unnoticed, the psychological cost of climate change. We usually think about rising temperatures, floods, and wildfires, but what about the impact on our mental health, especially among young people? A recent study conducted in Pakistan explored this very question. Researchers surveyed 761 adolescents and young adults using the Hog Eco Anxiety Scale, which measures three dimensions of anxiety: emotional symptoms, behavioral symptoms, and personal impact.
Oh, sorry. What factors were found to influence climate-related anxiety among these young people?
Actually, the findings were striking. First, age matters. Older students reported higher emotional anxiety related to climate change. Second, income plays a role. Those from higher income families showed greater anxiety. Third, education level is significant. Graduate students had the highest anxiety scores, followed by college and university students. Interestingly, gender differences were not significant. But here's the surprising part. Overall anxiety levels among Pakistan young were relatively low compared to Western countries. Why? The study suggests that pressing social economic challenges, such as poverty and daily survival, overshadow concerns about climate change. For many young people in the global south, climate change feels like a distant threat compared to immediate struggles. This research reminds us that Climate change is not only an environmental crisis, it is also a mental health challenge.
So what we do to address the psychological impact of climate change on young people?
Actually, in my opinion, I think we need policies, education, and mental health support to help young people cope with this growing pressure. Addressing climate anxiety is essential if we want the next generation to be part of the solution.
Okay, thank you. So let's invite our fourth member to get a summary of the speech. Let's welcome Peng Jingwen.
Hello. So to summary, Zhang believes young people are expected to fix environment problems, but lack to the power or votes to make real change. Being left out, this makes feel helpless and stops them from wanting to make action. And Zhang argued that just changing our personal habits is not enough, because governments and big companies create most of the pollution. We need to change the whole system instead of putting all the pressure on young people. And finally, Zheng pointed out that the huge responsibility of saving the planet is bad for young people's minds. This pressure causes stress and anxiety about the environment, which hurts their mental health. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So for Zhang Yan, you mentioned that young people are expected to act without having much decision-making power. So how do you think this affects the fairness of climate responsibility?
This issue striking at the core contradiction of cinema responsibility allocation, a serious imbalance between responsibility and power, which is fundamental unfair to young people. This imbalance doesn't just render farmist implicit tech. It undermines that very foundation of cinema action. Artists say,
Sorry.
all right, what's wrong?
Is this imbalance only a moral issue, or does it also conflict with existing legal and institutional principles?
I mean, Article 25 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights set not vaulting ego shelter, and the right must be granted note to all without discrimination, excluding young people from discussion making, excluding against international law. Worst selves. This inequality is drawing young people in surrounding and trust where their front their if areas cannot change the cover issue like corporate emissions and politics delays through the institutional sides. Powerlessness sets in a collectivist society responsibility between the young people self-shot over time. Some made quit out of the disconcertment of even resist a fatal blow to long-term cinema action. Trustfulness isn't about demanding more from young people. It is about giving them a ready views. Only by guaranteeing discussion making right matched their responsibility can cinema responsible should be fair, and the cinema action giving suggesting momentary. All right. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And Jare, building on Zhang Yan's point, do you think asking young people to change their lifestyle can be really effective without strong action from governments and companies?
I think young people changing their lifestyle is good, but it cannot work by itself. Many young people already try to recycle, but less travel in greener ways. A research showed that many of them still feel their actions do not make a big difference.
Wait a minute. So why do their individual action often feel ineffective in final cinema's change?
This is because most population comes from big systems like factories, energy, and transport. Government and companies have much more power than one person. So if we only ask young people to change, it is not fair, and it is also not very effective. I think lifestyle change is only one part. Real climate action needs strong laws and strong action for government and companies. So then young people can support this as part of shared effort. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Zheng Songwen, from a psychological perspective, how might this kind of responsibility and pressure affect young people's mental well-being?
I think the pressure of climate responsibility can significantly impact young people's mental health by creating what researchers call eco-anxiety. This is not just ordinary stress, it's a persistent fear about environmental collapse and the future of our planet.
Wait a minute. What evidence showed that eco-anxiety is already affecting young people in measurable ways?
Actually, about this question, I found a recent study by Mio et al. 2025 surveyed 761 adolescents and young adults in the Global South using the Hawk Eco-Anxiety Scale. The findings showed that climate-related anxiety manifests in three ways: emotional symptoms like worry and fear, behavioral symptoms such as difficulty concentrating, and personal impacts including feelings of helplessness. Interestingly, older and higher income young reported stronger emotional anxiety, possibly because they feel more responsible for driving change. What makes this worse is that young people often carry responsibility without real authority to make systemic changes. This imbalance can lead to guilt and hopelessness, especially when their individual actions feel insufficient compared to the scale of the climate crisis. Over time, these feelings can contribute to chronic stress, depression, and even burnout. So, while empowering youth is important, we must also provide mental health support and share responsibility more fairly. Otherwise, the psychological cost of climate action could undermine the very generation we rely on for solution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, thank you for the discussion. And from today's panel, we can see that youth climate responsibility involves several connected issues. And this includes limited political power, pressure to change personal lifestyle, and the psychological burden that comes with climate responsibility. So while young people play an important role in climate actions, the discussions suggest that responsibility should be shared more fairly across society. So this highlights that achieving SDG 13 requires not only on participation, but also support fairness and system level change. So finally, thank you to our panelists and thank you for everyone for listening.